What's going on there, everyone? Well, our favorite radical Democrat is back in the news. Imagine that. She just can't seem to not be in the news. She's got an ego complex, I do believe. Ilhan Omar demands United Nations take over America's border crisis. Mind blown. Let's read. Representative Ilhan Omar demanded this week that the United States bring in the United Nations to handle the crisis or the border crisis on the U.S.-Mexico border, a move that would undermine the United States' national sovereignty. Agreed. This woman, right here, is the face of an evil person that clearly hates our country. I mean, she hates a lot of things. But our country seems to be one of the main things. She's always denigrating us in public, on national television. Her tweets are deplorable, to say the least. Why is she still in office? There needs to be safeguards for people like this who somehow alienate enough people to get elected into office. We need to have some safeguards on how to quickly remove these freaks. Especially her, because talking about a controversial figure, I don't even care about half the things she says. Look at her actions. She's being investigated for ethics violations all over the place. There's a possibility, it is alleged, see that, YouTube? I said alleged. That she possibly married her brother to skirt immigration. What? There's a chance that she might not even be legally supposed to be here now. There's all kind. And now you got the latest little accusations going around that she's having an affair with one of her staff and used her campaign money and stuff to pay for him to go travel and do that. Mike, if that's not something you should be quickly removed from office for, what is? But we never see any accountability, ever. Look at the James Comey news that just dropped. There was clear mishandling of his documents and this, that, and the other, and it violated all kinds of little statutes, but yeah, they chose not to do anything about it. Because why would they? It doesn't matter that American trust, that the trust of the citizens, it doesn't matter that they are lacking in trust. No, it doesn't matter. Sorry, that was a little bit of a tangent. My bad. Omar made the remarks on Tuesday while speaking to her constituents during an immigration forum in South Minneapolis. Omar, who was accused this week of having an affair with a married man, lectured the audience about losing the moral high ground on the issue of immigration. That's because you don't know what morals are. None of you, especially none of the four members of the squad, y'all don't know what morals, values, or any of that are. Y'all are just lunatics. We should do what any other country does by dealing with this situation in a serious way, Omar said. We've been trying, but y'all and the Justice Democrats have been hampering every effort. So we have to bring in the United Nations High Commissioner on Refugees, an agency that has the expertise and training to handle massive flows of refugees humanely. Why don't we just send them back? It's a good way to manage them. You know, as soon as they step foot on American soil illegally, we escort them to a plane which will promptly take them back to their home countries. Come on. She wants what is essentially a globalist military force to come onto our sovereign soil because she and her colleagues refuse to act on anything about the immigration crisis. Wow. Wow. This woman is a threat to our country, people. And yeah, I'll say it. She is a straight up threat. It's crazy. Before Omar made those remarks, she suggested, without evidence, let's see if that's true, that the United States government was arresting and deporting illegal aliens because they were poor. Well, yeah, there is no evidence of that. I'll give them that. A lot of times when I see without evidence, there's usually plenty of evidence, but I will say that comes mainly from left-leaning sites. They have a habit of not actually seeing legitimate evidence. This is not the first time making calls for radical moves that would make the United States weaker. Of course, because she doesn't care about the United States. In February, Omar called for the elimination of the entire Department of Homeland Security, smart, which is the national security apparatus that is largely responsible for protecting the United States. DHS was created after the 9/11 terrorist attacks, which resulted in the deaths of thousands of Americans. She didn't care about that. She probably secretly praises that action. And it's not even that much of a secret. She didn't care. When Democrats stood our ground last month, we proved that individual one, they have no respect, does not have the public support to ram his hateful wall through Congress. Omar tweeted, "Let's stand firm. Hashtag not $1 for DHS." Moron. She's a freaking moron. And the President of the United States, Donald Trump, does have public support. He just doesn't have your support because y'all don't want to lose. That's all it is. Y'all just want a win because y'all don't get to eke out a win here and there all the time anymore. It just doesn't happen. Because why? Public sentiment. You think the United States public really agrees with y'all's craziness? Absolutely not. At least not the people I get to talk to on the street. Yeah, they think y'all are crazy. They wonder why they wonder why y'all even still have a voice up there in Washington. Why y'all haven't just been shut down and relegated to the coffers, where you're out of sight, out of mind. Because you have no minds. They're crazy. It's just crazy. Last month, Socialist Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez joined Omar and called for eliminating the DHS. Imagine that. ICE is not under DOJ. It is under the Department of Homeland Security, and so we have now. Okay. Ocasio-Cortez said in an interview, "Would you get rid of the Homeland Security too?" Ocasio-Cortez was asked. "I think so," she responded. "I think so." Should we be listening to anything these morons say? Because they obviously don't live on the same planet as us. They don't see how unfettered immigration destroys nations. There's this thing called the Atlantic Ocean. Look on the other side of that, at Europe. And you will see what mass immigration does to nations. How it destroys nations. How it does increase crime, violent crime. And how it sucks the economy, lifeblood, out of these nations. They don't care about that. They care about having the optics. Oh, we're fighting for these people. These people that are illegally here and that don't care about our system of laws and checks and balances. They don't care. And neither do these freaks. And shame on everybody who voted for them. Shame on them. I get why Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar got voted in, because if you look at their districts, high Muslim population. And I know that's not going to be that popular to say, but it's the truth. When we were allowing mass importation of people from Muslim countries, they settled up there in Minnesota. And for some reason up north. Oddly enough, because it's very cold up there. You wouldn't think they'd go there. But thank God they're relegated to there and not just every freaking where. Because we'd have more of these crazy Justice Democrats probably in office. Because these people, they're not voting on policies and this, that, and the other. They're voting on crazy rhetoric. Crazy rhetoric. And especially when it's a fellow Muslim, they're going to vote for them. That's what they do. They stick together. Unlike a lot of us, we don't stick together. As Americans, we don't stick together anymore, which is a big problem. Sure, we're going to have disagreements about everything. And that's fine. Disagreements are a good thing, people, because then you talk and you debate, and through healthy dialogue, you can come up with an in-the-middle fix to a problem. But when you're dealing with these so-called justice Democrats, they don't care about anybody else's opinion but their own. They can be told to their faces by the voting population, in which they don't even want to be the voting population, if you look at how they want to dismantle the Electoral College. You know, AOC went out through the middle of the country and was in our great farmland areas and stuff, and was pointing her camera around. Hey, look at this. This is the Electoral College. Yes, because those people, those sparse as they may be in those areas, their vote still matters. At least to us who treasure their votes, you know, because they do matter to us. Obviously not to you. Obviously not. You're pathetic. These Democrats are pathetic. And I'm not saying that as all Democrats are pathetic. I don't believe that. But these particular ones are pathetic. Absolutely pathetic people that should not have ever got to where they are. People, you really got to start vetting the people you vote for. Really. Vet them harder than anyone else. They're going to be your representatives. And if you live in one of the places where these are your representatives and you voted for them, shame on you. Shame on you. Especially like people like AOC, who literally doesn't know anything about anything except possibly how to make a drink. And she's probably not that smart at that either. I just can't see it. But I've ranted enough. I'd love to hear your comments. And as always, like, share, and subscribe.